Hey, welcome in. Well, James Carville is an old school Democrat. And James Carville was, of course, the mastermind, the political mastermind behind Bill Clinton. But anyway, James Carville blames stupid wokeness for election losses. Well, he's right. But I'm not sure that anybody's going to listen, because the Democrats have a problem. Not only do they have to deal with the woke fanatics in their own party, like the Squad, for instance, but the mainstream media has gone full woke. And you never go full woke. You never go full woke. But they've gone full woke. And they demand that out of every politician. Otherwise, you're an ist or a phobe or something like that. They seem pretty serious about it. And it's just become a joke. I mean, here's Nicole Wallace from MSNBC. Here's what she would have us believe. Youngkin wants to ban CRT. That's like us banning ghosts. There are no ghosts. Yeah, that's right. What parents have seen with their own eyes is that's ghosts. They're all just hallucinating. And this seems to be their strategy. CRT doesn't exist, but if you're against it, you're racist. Anyway, Carville's always been a pragmatist. He said during Clinton's 1992 presidential run, he said to the campaign staffers, "It's the economy, stupid." And for obvious reasons. So being an old sage of the party, they wanted to talk to him after the disastrous gubernatorial election in Virginia. And what he said to Judy Woodruff on PBS NewsHour was, quote, "What went wrong is just stupid wokeness." Quote, "All right, don't just look at Virginia and New Jersey. Look at Long Island. Look at Buffalo. Look at Minneapolis. Look at Seattle, Washington. I mean, this defund the police lunacy. This take Abraham Lincoln's name off schools. I mean that people can see that. And this, defund the police and taking down statues, this is all stuff that the mainstream media supported. And if you didn't support it, they called you racist. And Democratic politicians saw that. Anyway, quote, "It's just really has a suppressive effect all across the country on the Democrats. Some of these people need to go to a woke detox center or something." Woke detox center? Actually, it's not a bad idea. Like an addiction rehab. Because these people do seem to be addicted. They're addicted to being offended by everything and finding oppression everywhere. What would that be like?
I can't stop protesting Dave Chappelle specials or thinking that milk is white supremacy. I'm also very conflicted about polar bears. I don't know if I want to save them or protest them because they're white, right?
Yeah, that guy needs help. Serious help. Anyway, to continue, they're expressing a language that people just don't use. You mean like Latinx? The only people who use Latinx are people who have a degree in something that starts with critical and ends with studies. And you can just put whatever you want in the middle of them. Critical race studies, critical gender studies, whatever. And these are people who just think that everything is racist. Except for their Starbucks pumpkin spice soy latte. Which, they know deep down it kind of is, but they're just so good. But anyway, expressing a language that people just don't use, and there's a backlash and a frustration at that. Anyway, he pointed to Glenn Youngkin, who, that was a major upset in Virginia over Terry McAuliffe. But he's saying that Youngkin didn't target President Joe Biden, but McAuliffe was repeatedly trying to tie Youngkin to Donald Trump. Instead, Youngkin stuck to local issues. Anyway, he said that the Democrats are too focused on woke language. He said, "We got to change this and not be about changing dictionaries and change laws. These faculty lounge people sit around mulling about I don't know what. They're not working." But you still got people like MSNBC's Joy Reid saying education issue is code for white parents who don't want race taught in schools. Well, for one thing, they don't want racism taught in schools. They don't want teachers to tell their kids that they're bad because of the way they were born. And either Democratic politicians stop paying attention, stop fearing the media, or you're going to see a lot more Glenn Youngkins. Personally, I think that's a great thing. But I think that the Democrats are between a rock and a hard place here. They've got the voters on one side who are starting to catch up to what is actually going on. And then you've got the media and Twitter on the other side, turning the screws constantly. Let's take a look at Twitter. Here's Jamel Hill, formerly of ESPN. with 1.4 million followers. What was her response to Youngkin winning in Virginia? It's not the messaging, folks. This country simply loves white supremacy. Yeah, I mean, they've got nothing else. Yeah, it's basically a magic spell, right? That worked for a really long time, but it just turns out that the spell is starting to be broken. Now, I should mention as well that her last tweet, she said that white supremacy hit her TV remote. So, anyway, Carville is right. I mean, there are other things. Obviously, there's, economic issues. I mean, he's the guy who said it's the economy, stupid, right? There's the, supply chain issues. There's the mandates. There's a lot going on, and none of it's good. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.